Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this Thursday mountain weather update. I want to take you to Lunch Rock up here at Winter Park. What a view this morning. So again, this is Winter Park up there. Of course, Mary Jane sits right next to it, all off of or near Berthoud Pass in Colorado. And it's this area that's going to get hit pretty good tonight. We've got a storm system coming in tonight into early Friday morning that I think will drop 10 to 12 inches of snow around Winter Park, Mary Jane, Berthoud Pass, Loveland ski area, probably up the Continental Divide to Arapahoe Basin as well. I think that area may get bullseye tonight into Friday morning. So tomorrow's going to be a great powder day. I want to just talk a little bit about Winter Park because they are doing extremely well so far this season. 245 inches so far for the season. I mean, that's more snow than a lot of the resorts in Colorado have received, and 31 inches in the last 3 days. And again, you're going to get a good shot of snow tonight into Friday morning. All right, let's go into Utah. Snow is coming down here. This is Solitude. We're continuing to add to the accumulation. I still think we've got another 3, 4, 5 inches to go there at Solitude, Brighton, and it's snowing hard here at Alta. I think we've got another 3, 4, 5 inches on top of the 6 that you've already received. Let me show you radar across the west. So you can see the big blue ball right over the top of Salt Lake and the Wasatch. That's the area of low pressure. You can almost see the spin. I'll take you in closer here in just a second. Here's Colorado. A little bit of snow kind of running down through Cheyenne and the northeastern plains of Colorado, but you can see some of the return flow across the western slope out ahead of this next storm system already starting to affect the western slope. So that's going to move over I-70 and eventually down towards Winter Park and Berthoud Pass, Eisenhower, all the way down into Denver by the time we get to this afternoon, tonight, and Friday morning. It's going to snow in Denver as well. All right, this is the radar out of Salt Lake, and you can kind of see the spin. So there's a area of low pressure embedded here, and that's why we're really generating heavy snow over the top of Salt Lake itself, and of course the Wasatch. But that continues to crank out snowfall there. Up in the Northeast, a day of some light snow accumulation up here. I don't have anything big today in the forecast for Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, but some light accumulations. All right, let me set the table. So this is water vapor satellite imagery. At the low levels, your oranges and reds are going to be your drier air. The moisture is going to be in the whites and the blues. So you can see the spin right there dropping through Salt Lake. That's the low that's going to move into Colorado this afternoon, tonight, and into tomorrow morning, crossing right over Denver, and then it moves out into the plains and becomes a storm system. But back here, this is all part of a realignment of the pattern. There's a low here, there's another low here, but the thing about it is all of this is being directed. It's going to hit the Pacific Northwest in BC for quite some time. So this rich flow is going to be directed Washington, Oregon, BC, interior BC, and there's going to be overrun between the 21st and the 25th across a lot of central and northern Idaho and northwest Montana as well. So some pretty good totals for all those areas on the way. All right, here are my bullet points. So we've got the storm system crossing Utah right now that'll move through Colorado tonight into tomorrow morning. Then behind it, the pattern shifts to favor the Pacific Northwest. The jet stream it shifts to the north, and that's where we're going to see a moist flow, 221 through 225. The high Cascades, the volcanoes, BC, interior and coastal, and then central and northern Idaho, northwest Montana. I do have rain snow line concerns. It's looking a little bit warm for some resorts. I think there are resorts in British Columbia that could get rain or rain snow mix at the base, at a lot of the base areas. So you're going to have to be higher up on the mountain with this pattern, 221 to 225. And I'm kind of thinking of Revelstoke as well. There's a lot of moisture coming for Revelstoke, and it's possible that the valley locations go rain or rain snow at times, and then it's all snow, of course, higher on the mountain. But it's one thing I wanted to mention because there's going to be feet of accumulation at the highest elevations with this. My snow timeline, best odds of snow right here for Big Sky, the Wasatch, Tetons, Colorado, interior BC, the Pacific Northwest, Tahoe, and the Northeast. So here's what I'm thinking. For Big Sky, it's light today, it's light 23, and then it's heavy on 25. In the Wasatch, heavy today, it's happening now, and then your next shot is light 223. Tetons is coming in this after, well, it continues into the 20th, and then there's a heavier period, 223 through 225. Colorado, looking at this afternoon, tonight, tomorrow morning for moderate to heavy accumulations, and then light on 225. Interior BC and the Pacific Northwest are both very similar. Again, some rain snow line concerns, but 221 through 225. All right, drilling down to Alta, Utah here with the forecast meteorogram. So this is effective about 9,000 feet up there, Alta, Snowbird, really representative of Solitude and Brighton. So it's got some leftover snow here this morning, and it kind of lingers through the afternoon. Potentially another 3 or 4 inches of accumulation. The winds today up to about 30 miles per hour. Air temps in the low 20s. Colder overnight, obviously. Tomorrow up to about 22, 23. Saturday's highs at 28 and pretty warm on Sunday. What's going to happen down the road here is it's really going to warm up. There's a big high pressure ridge that's going to set up across the desert southwest, and the temperatures are just going to take off down the road. Okay, let me talk about Wyoming. Here's Jenny Lake. So Jenny Lake, this is effective about 86 to 8,700 feet. Let me find it here. So again, about 86 to 8,700 feet. At Jenny Lake, let me get the chart here. There it is. Okay, so yeah, 86, 8,700 feet. It's pretty dry today, tomorrow on this model, but then it does bring in some snow on the 22nd, maybe an inch or two. And then what you don't see here is the 23, 24, 25 storm system, which looks to be moderate to heavy, so it's off the chart here. So we're going to have to kind of wait in the Tetons for 23, 24, 25 to really get some appreciable snow out of this. Okay, let me talk about the jet stream. So this is really key in determining the pattern, the storm track. We'll start it at 11 o'clock today, and what I'm looking for are the brighter colors, the oranges, the reds, the tans. That's going to be your higher, stronger winds up at jet stream level at 30,000 feet. So when I look at this right now at 11 o'clock today, I immediately see the dip in the jet over Utah. That's the spin on radar I showed you over Salt Lake. What happens with it? Well, let's move it ahead. There it goes, moves into Colorado. Tonight, this is late tonight and early into tomorrow morning. That area of spin crosses the mountains of Colorado, basically right along I-70 up through the Front Range, High Peaks, Winter Park, Loveland, Continental Divide. Then it drops down into through the foothills and then into Denver tonight into tomorrow morning. So all those places are going to get accumulation. Then it moves away. Then there's a definite pattern shift. Look to the Pacific Northwest. That's where all the action is going to be. BC, central to northern Idaho, northwest Montana. This is 11 a.m. on Sunday, the 23rd, and the rich flow continues up there. Oh, I mean, there's another storm, 24, 25, and that one actually does drop down a little bit, affecting the Intermount, 24, 25, through Idaho, Montana, clipping Utah, clipping Colorado, and then that one moves out into the plains. Now, this is what's going to happen later in the month. This is the 27th, late on the 27th. Here's early on the 28th. Here's late on the 28th. Look at the big ridge of high pressure. The jet stream's arcing way to the north, up into parts of Canada. There's a big area of high pressure that's going to sit across the west. So much warmer, drier as we head into late February across the west. Okay, let me take you to snow accumulation over time. So on this, your light blues are going to be your lightest accumulations, under 3 inches, generally. And when you see the greens, it's 3 to 6, yellows are 6 plus, 10 is reds are 10 plus. So there's our storm system. Some light snow through the Midwest. The western storm will start this at 11 o'clock today. You've got moderate to heavy snow accumulation over the Wasatch, maybe clipping the high Uintas as it moves into Colorado. And there's your move into Colorado. This is about 5 o'clock tonight. There's roughly 10 o'clock tonight, 11 o'clock tonight, and then that snow, you can start to see the greens popping up. Summit County, Continental Divide, Arapahoe Basin, Loveland, Winter Park, and then that's going to drop down into Denver into tomorrow morning. You see that flaring of green right there with the spin and that low pressure. Okay, and then it fades, and then and then we've got a whole different pattern. Look to the Pacific Northwest. That's where all the action is going to be, and some of that does clip Idaho and Montana at times. It's pretty decent. That's 11 a.m. on the 23rd right there. And then here comes that storm system that does drop down into the Intermountain on 24, 25, and it kind of brushes the Wasatch and parts of Colorado, but more so into the Tetons. And then there's another little storm right here into the 25th. It kind of does the same thing, moves out into the plains. And then, guys, right here, this is all high pressure across the west. There is absolutely nothing on the 27th and 28th. The all the action is up in the northeast. We could have a big storm system up there in the northeast with heavy snow. So the pattern flips. Okay, here's my forecast. Basically, all of today through the 25th, an additional 2 to 4 across the Wasatch. There might be a touch more than that. I mean, this is a pretty intense little area of low pressure. I mean, we've already received 6 in some places. Yeah, another 4, 5, 6 on the extreme end. Okay, up in the Tetons, 10, and again, most of that comes later in the period. 23, 24, 25. In Colorado, there are your numbers across I-70, 5 to 10 inches. The heaviest amounts are banked right up against the Continental Divide. In southern Colorado, less accumulation, 2 to 5, 2 to 4 across the San Juans, and then less in the San Grays. All right, in Montana, the biggest numbers are up in the northwest corner of the state, around Whitefish, Snow Bowl, Discovery, and I'm a little worried about some snow levels. Again, I think this is going to be a little bit of a warm flow, but higher on the mountain, we're looking at double-digit numbers. Central and northern Idaho, 20 to 24 inches. Interior BC, I haven't changed a lot here since yesterday, 16 to 24 inches. Fernie, Red Mountain, Kicking Horse, and Revelstoke, and even some down in Sunshine, Vamp, and Marmot Basin. Pacific Northwest, generally 1 to 3 feet. And again, higher rain snow lines with this because the warm air is just going to be pumped in with this jet stream. Okay, let's go to the Northeast. Pretty light stuff here, 1 to 4 inches. I think will do it for pretty much all the locations: Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and New York. There's just in this time frame today through the 25th, there's just no big storm systems. All right, guys, we're going to end on the western map here. We've got a storm today, tonight, tomorrow morning, and then the pattern shifts up to the Pacific Northwest. So take advantage of the snow while you can. Appreciate you tuning in here. Take care and have a great day.